Again, Justin, do you take the chance to experiment with the lineup at all for the last couple of rounds?
Probably not. We're not really looking at it from that angle. We're probably looking at more rewarding performances, and on the back of our good performance the other night, we're not going to make any unnecessary or forced changes. So we really want to reward performances in the team, and we see the honour of being in the team and performing well. It's your right to stay in the team. So we're not going to make any unnecessary changes.
Is there anyone pushing their claim?
Yeah, there's guys pushing their claim. I mean, it's really hard to push their claim when we're not playing 18 games. But the reserves game we played with a combined Sydney and Melbourne team last week was really positive. We had some really good performances. But having said that, we feel like our last two senior performances have had a lot of merit as well. So once you're in the team, it's hard. It's hard to, once you're in the team and it's performing well and you're playing your role, it's hard to find your way out of the team, really. And that's the sort of culture and mentality we want to build at the club going forward.
Well, sliding down the draft order is not at all a concern of yours?
It's not something that it's crossed my mind before you asked that question. Absolutely not. We're here to build a winning culture, and we want to perform week in, week out. So no, that hasn't crossed my mind at all.
G'day, JL. Just checking you can hear me okay.
Yep. Go ahead.
Perfect. I just want to ask about Jesse Hogan. I noticed it's actually a 6-match goalless streak at the moment. Just seeing, obviously we know key forwards, goals are so important to them. How's he holding up through that?
He's holding up well. I feel like, I've been mindful to make sure that I'm reassuring him that it's not all about kicks, marks, handballs, goals. He's got to make sure that he executes his role, which is has a defensive aspect and an offensive aspect. And I thought on the weekend, on previous game v Melbourne, he did that really well. He got some possessions and had some influence offensively, but he created a number of opportunities for us defensively as well and played his role really well. So the goals will come if he sticks with that. And I think Michael Walters, previous to that, hadn't hit the scoreboard in his previous couple of games, but was still executing his role. And he got the rewards on the weekend with 3 goals. So it's a message to all our forwards. It's not necessarily about hitting the scoreboard all the time. It's about executing their role, and it's about the team scoring more than individual scoring. So that's something that's been talked through with all our forwards, and Jesse's one of those.
And how have you noticed in terms of your structure, how much has helped in the couple of games he's come back, just in terms of how you look going forward?
I thought probably the Richmond game, the tools didn't work that well together, and that showed up on the scoreboard. And I think on against Melbourne, I thought they worked a lot better together. I mean, the scoreboard probably didn't reflect our dominance in that game, but we missed some relatively easy shots. And those shots were got because of our ability of our tools to work together and isolate a little bit more, and played both sides of the ball. I thought their defensive actions were really good, and that led to some of Sonny's goals. And I thought as a group, our forwards worked much better together. And I mean, we're still evolving and still working through how that our forward line best looks, but I thought it was a step forward on Monday night.
G'day, Justin. Just on the team for tomorrow, are you able to confirm any changes?
I can confirm one at this stage. Reece Conkers is going to miss. He's got a tight hammy, and just not willing to take the risk with him, given we've got a 2-hour flight to get to the game tomorrow. So Toby Watson will come in and replace Reece, and we've still got a couple of fitness tests that we're doing right now. So there could be a couple more changes. That might be the only one. I can't confirm that yet.
So Duman's one of those, is he?
Yeah. I mean, when he first did the injury and the day after, we assumed that he would miss, but he trained yesterday and it was remarkable how well he's pulled up. So he's going to do a fitness test this morning. And we'll reshuffle the team if he doesn't get through, but we're probably anticipating he will get through at this stage.
He's probably hoping for plenty of rain again after how well he went the other night.
Yeah, Yep, and he played probably his best game of the year up until he got injured. That first half, he was strong in the contest. Defensive positioning was really good and found the footy and used it well. So can't ask much more than his first half on the weekend.
What are the chances that we see Liam Henry again this season?
Oh, there's a chance. I had a good chat to him the other day and just laid out where we sat in the team, and we've probably got as small forwards, Sonny in the team ahead of him in that role that he played, but also we're playing three talls, which is probably taken up the spot that he played when he came in to the side, and we're happy with the pressure and the roles that our smalls are playing at the moment. So having said that, he's not going to get an opportunity this week by the looks of it, but next week he'll be a chance. Based on the performance of those other small forwards, I mean, they're doing enough at the moment to hold their spot. They're having an impact offensively, and their defensive pressure's been really strong for us. So he's just going to have to bide his time.
And just in terms of the bigger picture, I mean, I imagine it probably was pretty tough for him not having any waffle preparation and having to come in. What does he need to focus on this summer to put himself in a good position to have an impact next season, do you think?
All aspects of his game need to go to another level, like all our players, to be honest. I think his last game last year was in school footy, and his first game of 18 on 18 this year was at AFL, so he's bridged that gap tremendously well given the circumstances. He just needs to continue to work on getting stronger, fitter, and all aspects of his footy. Probably one thing that is a real strength of his is his skill work, and we probably didn't see that at AFL level. So, and he needs to train with that intensity to get himself ready for AFL footy. But I mean, I've been really proud of the work he's done this year to get himself to a level of AFL footy, given the training volumes we've been able to do and the training program we've been able to put around our players through the COVID era. So he's done remarkably well, but he's still got a long way to go to reach the heights that he wants to reach.
And just last one from me. I thought it was quite ironic the other night. You played your third game in 10 days and went in with an unchanged lineup. Is that a sign that your boys are handling these short breaks well?
Yeah, it is. It is. Our players have handled it remarkably well. And, as a coach, you sort of think sometimes that you need to get fresh legs in, but our players have responded to the workload really well. We haven't had any injuries, touch wood, and it's just a matter of rewarding the performances that they're putting out. And I thought on Monday was one of our most consistent, best performances of the year. So we want to really reward that good form. And it surprised me, to be honest.
Justin, Tom here. Just looking ahead a bit now with only a couple of games left, when do you start planning further list changes, or do you have to sort of wait till you get more direction from the AFL on list sizes before you start looking at those kinds of things? We're waiting for clarity from the AFL on what list sizes will be next year. That'll clearly be a big influence on the list changes. So I know Peter Bell and Dave Walls are doing a lot of work behind the scenes on what that looks like and putting contingencies in place for different numbers that will come back from the AFL. So until we get that clarity from the AFL, it makes it really difficult. Probably an unanswerable question, but do you expect David Mundy to go around one more time, and is that something you've had a conversation with him about?
Yeah. I mean, we're constantly in conversations with him. What next year looks like, we're still a little bit uncertain, but from my perspective, I couldn't be any happier with the way Dave's handled this year. Both on and off the field, he's gone about it the right way, and he's instilling all his experience and knowledge onto our younger mids, and I think that's starting to shine through in their performances. So, I hope he goes on for another year, but we're still got to have those discussions with him and make sure it suits both camps.
And JL, just a word on the Kangaroos. What have you made of them this season?
Yeah, they've probably had some inconsistencies around their performances, a bit like us at times. And one thing that really shines out is their physicality. Their contest work's really good, and the pressure they bring to the game is elite. So we're under no illusions of what the sort of game we're going to get tomorrow. It's going to be a high contest, high pressure game, and we'll make sure our players are up for the challenge.